Hi, welcome to Anything Goes. My name is Amanda, and I am participating today in a collaboration called Monday Makeover. It is hosted by Ashley at The Redheaded Crafter and Brenda with Rustic and Lace DIY. What we were asked to do in this collaboration was to take one Dollar Tree item and make over that item, which I'm starting off with this pumpkin here from Dollar Tree. It came with 3. The other thing we were asked to do was to make over an item that we had thrifted, which will be the second DIY that I do. So starting out with this one, I am unraveling the cord that it came with, the fluffy stuff. I can't think of the name of it, but you put it on your tree at Christmas and it came off very easily. It was just wrapped around the spokes and that was it. Both the orange and the green came off without any complications. So in this collaboration, there is a giveaway, a $50 giveaway, and I will talk a little more about that later in the video, what you have to do in order to be entered into that drawing. So what I did here was start at the very bottom. There was a little hole because they were attached to each other, the 3 pumpkins. So I just tied some yarn that I had in my stash. I don't know where it came from. It was probably just handed down to me, and I liked the color of it for fall and to make over this pumpkin. I don't know what happened right there with the footage, but so I just tied it onto the loop and started wrapping it around the form, and there's little spokes on the edges of the form, which came in very handy. I did not use any hot glue until the very end. I was able to just wrap and wrap and wrap, and the little spokes held everything in place. Now, I did hit my record button thinking that I was recording me wrapping it and then gonna cut to the next part of it showing you it wrapped, but I ended up accidentally hitting the stop button when I thought I was recording, and that's why there was all that footage out of frame. My son actually is the one that told me I was recording and I didn't know I was. So anyway, after you wrap the entire pumpkin, the orange part, then I just took some hot glue and placed it on the back and put a little piece of ribbon on top of it to hold that in place. And I'm still wrapping it here. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday of this week. And here is where I'm gonna now switch to some jute to wrap that around the stem of the pumpkin to try to make the pumpkin look a little more, I don't want to say rustic, but just not as bright and a little bit toned down. So this Monday in our school district, our schools were closed for a teacher work day, so the kids were here with me, and it was a little hard to get this done having everybody here, but I was able to film what I could with a couple of mistakes, but I still wanted to participate in this. I really like the idea of just taking one Dollar Tree item and working with the one item, and then a thrifted item and working with that item. So it makes it easier to focus on just the one thing that you have, and instead of taking all these different pieces and putting them together. So I think here I'm showing you that I'm using my glue gun to keep the jute and the orange yarn in place, and I trim that off. I don't keep it on the back long like that. Here I'm just showing you my selection of fall leaves I have, and I picked out the two that I think matched best with the color orange I had, and glued those on with some glue gun, or with my glue gun. And I made a quick little bow out of the black and white ribbon, which is from Dollar Tree, and put that right in the center. And here is the final outcome of the pumpkin. So here's my second DIY. I bought this sign at my local thrift store for $3. It says $6, but all their home decor is $3. And I really liked how it looked as far as the two pumpkins were concerned. So I decided to add something to the top of it. I had these Dollar Tree floating shelves that I had purchased a while back. And it was perfect because it already had holes drilled in it, so I could attach the chains that were a part of the original item I purchased at the thrift store. And I took some Dollar Tree letters and spelled out our last name. I've been wanting to do something with our last name. And the O I only put there to keep in place so I could space it out properly. And once I had everything spaced out, then I went ahead and pressed everything down and took my Mod Podge and gave that 2 coats of Mod Podge and waited for it to dry. And that was all that I did with the floating sign. So or the floating shelf piece of wood. After it dried, I took a hook, which I love using hooks, and I simply just used my hand and screwed it in. I didn't pre-drill or do anything like that. It did pop out of the back a little bit, but not anything that is a big deal. So, and I think you can see that I'm using the hook because this also goes along with a monthly challenge I'm hosting called the Swappable Swag Squabble. And that is where you take one DIY that you make, which I have a pre-selected list, and make 3 different things that you can use to switch out the theme of it. So you're not making 10 signs with your last name on it and you've got a permanent pumpkin on it. So I took some clings from Dollar Tree and I Mod Podged a little pumpkin onto a scrap piece of foam core board and let that dry, gave it 2 coats, and then I just cut around it to make it as close of a round shape as possible. And back to, here I'm showing you that what I did was open up the loops, and now I'm showing you these 2 quick DIYs that I am showcasing in my final look, but I didn't have them ready for the Bloom with Grace challenge. So I found those plates at Dollar General, and again, I love the colors of the pumpkins. So the Bloom with Grace challenge was mums for that month, and I just glued some mums to it, and that was it. And those were Dollar Tree mums. And then I took this Dollar Gather sign, and you can see I'm actually using my bed as the background because I had broken my tripod, so I didn't have my craft table to use. And all I did to this sign was add the ribbon and then some jute to hold it. And there's a picture of the gather sign. And here is Gertrude, my gnome that my Spanish teacher made for me. And this is her dressed up for the fall. So here is the final montage of pictures that I took of everything in its place. And that little paddle there is also from the Dollar Tree, but I didn't record making it. The printable came from another YouTuber, and it actually says Smith Farms on it, which Smith is my maiden name. So I thought it'd be cool to include that in my final display along with my last name now. And there are some other things that I DIY'd in my final. Okay, and just so you know how to enter or be entered into the giveaway, you simply have to comment on everybody's video in the playlist. Not with any particular thing, just any comment on all videos that are a part of the Monday Makeover playlist. I want to thank Ashley and Brenda for hosting this challenge, and I will have their pages, their YouTube pages linked in the description box, along with the playlist in the description box. And I hope everybody has a fabulous Monday and week ahead. And I hope you enjoy some of the DIYs that I made. I'm showing you there some candy corn that I put together using the Dollar Tree beads. And there's a Dollar Tree pumpkin that had the wrong letter on it, so I just covered it with some scrapbook paper and put the letter A on it, made it have the correct letter. And there's Gertrude again, ready for Halloween. The outfit she's wearing is actually one of my dog dresses that my dog doesn't fit in anymore. So I hope you enjoyed this, and happy Halloween. I will probably have more fall and Halloween DIYs coming up. And make sure you visit the playlist and watch all the videos and put a comment on all of them. Then you will be entered into the giveaway. Thank you for watching, and I would love it if you subscribed to my channel. Have a great week and enjoy watching the playlist. Get some coffee, get cozy, and enjoy watching some fabulous Monday makeover, Dollar Tree, and thrifted DIYs.